Hello, sorry for the break there. Technical issues. We'll carry on from where we left off. So let's go to the performance of Hand of Surprise.
Hand of Surprise by Eileen Brown. Handa put 7 delicious fruits in a basket for her friend Akayo. I wonder which fruit she'll like best. Will she like the soft yellow banana? Or the sweet-smelling guava? Will she like the round, juicy orange? Or the ripe red mango? Will she like the spiky-leaved pineapple? The creamy green avocado? Or the tangy purple passion fruit? Which fruit will Akayo like best? Hello, Akayo, said Handa. I bought you a surprise. Tangerines, said Handa. That is a surprise.
So that's the a nice storytelling that you can watch together. Obviously the book's also really good and it's nice to watch that too. This just gives you an idea of how the story works. So let's have a look at some nice slides that you can go along with the story as well. These are good for retelling the story once you've watched it or read it, obviously, first of all. So Handa put 7 delicious fruits in a basket and set off to see her friend Akayo. Oh, questioning, what fruits has she found? Another question here, I wonder which fruit she'll like best. Who's that hiding up in the tree? Questioning, what can you see on the picture? Who's hiding in the tree? It's a monkey. The monkey took the soft yellow banana. There's your bananas. Who is hiding round the corner? Another question there. The ostrich. The ostrich took the sweet-smelling guava. There's a guava. Who's black and white stripes can I see? Which animal's got black and white stripes? Is it an elephant? What's that one there? It's a zebra. Great stuff. The zebra took the juicy orange. Which one's the orange? Can you point to the orange? There it is. Whose trunk is peeking round the corner? Who's got a trunk? Does the monkey have a trunk? No, it's the elephant. Good work. The elephant took the ripe red mango. There's a mango. Whose long, tall neck can I see? Nice use of adjectives there as well, long and tall. It's the giraffe. The giraffe took the spiky-leafed pineapple. Pineapple. Do you like pineapple? Have you tried it? who is hiding behind the long grass. An antelope. The antelope took the creamy green avocado. That's an avocado opened up. Who's that hanging from the tree? It's Parrot, Squawk. The parrot took the tangy purple passion fruit. Passion fruit. Oh no! The fruit's all gone. What's the goat do? He knocks into the tree and the oranges, tangerines fall into a basket. And it's a surprise for Handa as well. She thought she got lots of fruit and she's got tangerines, but they're KO's favourite. Okay, lots of question opportunities there, as that shows you. And if you can get hold of a copy of the book, be that from the library, you know, great, have a go. It's a lovely story and there's lots of question opportunities. Here's another resource that I'll send out to you to help with this, and it's just literally a game grid and you work your way around the game with counters and dice. Again, I'll send you the nets to make your own. So basically whatever space you land on, you have to come up with a question. So tell me who your favourite character is. Who was Handa going to visit? Why do you think the animals stole the fruit? When do you think Handa will go home? How do you think Handa carries that basket on her head? Yeah, lots of opportunities for question. And this is just one story that you can do it with. And we're going to take these activities and I'm going to ask you to have a go at doing some of them with another story at home. So 10 things to do with the book. Okay, these are just 10 quite simple things that you can do with a story. A real simple story like Handa Surprise for young children. Moving right up into the more tricky stories. Okay, the ideas stay the same. Let's run through them with Handa Surprise. So number 1, ask questions. That question game we've just looked at and the way that the PowerPoint we just looked at was set up, giving you some really good question ideas. Who's your favourite character in the story? What is your favourite fruit? So taking the experiences we read about and applying them to ourselves. How does Handa feel when she finds the basket is empty? Trying to get the children to think from somebody else's perspective. Quite tricky, but it's good to start talking about this young. Number 2, making predictions. Links into the questions quite nicely, but what do you think Handa and her friend will do next? What should Handa put in her basket for the journey home? Okay, guessing, making predictions. And again, we teach children, first of all, that they might make very random predictions. What do Handa and her friend do next? They get in a rocket and go to the moon. But that will become more refined when they start learning more about settings and characters and atmospheres and all the other parts of structure. But it's just getting them to realise something else might happen that we don't know. Choose a sentence and chop it up. So if you look there at the top, we've got Handa went for a walk, each word in a different box. You can literally chop it up for the children, get them to try and put them into order. Walk for Handa at went. So we've got to order it, okay? Again, you could do it with more complex sentences with older children, but to start with, something short's nice. Act it. Pretend to be Handa in the the fruit out of the basket. Pretend to be Handa's friend who's pleased to see her. Okay, real nice activities to have a go at with doing. And one of the resources I'll send out to you is for some stick puppets. You just print them off and literally stick them on a straw or a lolly stick or something like that. If you're not really up for full on acting out or you're not really sure how to do it, you can do it with the puppets, and the children love that, and that's something they can do time and time again and take with them to school or somebody else's house, you know, and when they can and really enjoy the story. Spot it. So what can you find? So thinking about the pictures in particular with the younger children, can you find all the bananas? Tell me when you see a red fruit. And with older children, it might be, can you find me, all the words that rhyme with such and such, or all the words that describe such and such. Okay. Number 6 moves us on to rhyme it. Okay. Initially, the children won't be finding this too easy, particularly the younger children, and it will be in the sounds of it that we might rhyme first of all, and we might really have to emphasize it. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester in the pouring rain. He stepped in a puddle right up to his middle and never went there again. You might have to really emphasize it to start with. But in this story, you've got words like best, mango, fruit. Can you rhyme anything with that? Another nice one, particularly for the children who aren't writing in words yet, to draw Handa, draw a basket. You've got the pictures to use, yeah, so you've got some idea. But if your child comes up with something different, that's great too. They're using their imagination, which is where all of this points. Draw a character from the story. Hot seating. This is where you pretend to be one of the characters from the story and you completely take them on. So you come into the room or you sit down and you are that character. So you might be, for instance, we said the greedy bird, you know, and you come up with some questions. Why did you take the fruit? You know, I was so hungry, I hadn't had anything to eat for 3 days. You know, you might put an accent on, you might have the flappy wings going on. You've really got to get into it. And if you're doing that, you absolutely have got to buy into it, because if you don't, the children won't, and you kind of lose the beauty of it a little bit. Again, as children move on a little bit into the end of Key Stage 1 into 2, looking at syllables. So these are the parts of words. Handa has 2 syllables. Monkey has 2 syllables. More examples there for you. And then alliteration. Again, we move on a little bit further for this. And the example I've given is quite an obvious one in terms of there's lots of it going on. But sometimes in a sentence or in a few words together, you'll hear the same sound at the start, the initial sound of words, and this is called alliteration. So this one, the thick thumb through the thorn into the thistles. So there we've got the th sound being repeated. It's not always like 10 times in a sentence. Sometimes it's 3 or 4, but there are patterns to it, and it has a real good impact on the atmosphere. Particularly in poems, you see that as well. And as your children get older, you'll see more and more of that. Good to pick it out now if you can, or have a go at doing it yourselves too. So we're going on a bear hunt. Anybody read this story? A very, very popular one by Michael Rosen. What I'd like you to have a go at this week is to do some of those activities with this story. Again, a really popular one that you can borrow, some lovely pictures and things in there, but we're going to watch it together here. Just to be sure that you know. Where's it gone? Just to be sure that you know it. And then you could, so while you're watching it, I want you to be thinking about how you could use this story to carry out some of the activities and what you're going to have a go at yourself this week.
Hi, my name's Michael Rosen and I helped make a book called We're Going on a Bear Hunt, and it goes something like this. We're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, grass, long wavy grass. We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. Choo-choo, choo, 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 choo. We're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a river, a deep, cold river. We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Dive in. Splosh, splash, splosh, splash, splosh, splash. Choo-choo, choo, 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 choo. We're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, mud. Thick, oozy mud. We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Squelch, squirch. Squelch, squirch. Choo-choo, choo, 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 choo. We're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a forest, a big dark forest. We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. Choo-choo, choo, 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 choo-choo, choo, choo, choo. We're going on a bear hunt, we're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a snowstorm, a swirling, whirling snowstorm. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Choo-choo, choo, 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 choo. Going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh. A cave. A narrow, gloomy cave. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Tip-toe, tip-toe, tip-toe. What's that? One shiny wet nose. Two big furry ears. Two big goggly eyes. It's a bear! Quick, back to the cave! Tiptoe, 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 back through the snowstorm! Back through the forest! Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip, back through the mud! Squelch, squelch! Back through the river, diving, splosh, splash, splosh, splash, splosh, splash! Back through the grass! Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy! Down the road, up to our front door. Open the door, up the stairs. Dup, 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 dup. Oh no, we forgot to shut the door. Back downstairs. Dup, 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 dup. Shut that door. Boom, back up the stairs. Dup, 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 dup. Along the passage, into the bedroom, into bed, under the covers. We're not going on a bear hunt again.
A really lovely story. A very simple story again in terms of a lot of repetition, a lot of actions that you can do with it. Children love it. And a really good one, picking out some of these things we've just talked about. And I'd like you to have a go at doing some of those, see what you can come up with. As simple as asking questions, look at the stories together. If you can get a hold of a copy, read the book. Look at the story together. What can you spot in the pictures? Can you draw the bear? Can you draw the cave? Can you draw your favourite character? Who is your favourite character? Questioning, predicting. What happens next? This is a brilliant one for prediction. They're hiding in the bed and the bear's outside the door. What happens next? You can really, really go to town with this one. It's a really lovely one. And that's actually the author performing it, which I think is a really nice touch as well. So have a go with that. Some top tips for reading at home. This is a nice clip as well. This man has worked as a teacher and is an author and can share quite what he's got to say. It's quite interesting in terms of reading at home. Definitely worth a look.
We all want children to love reading. But how does it happen? Well, it happens because of the adults that surround them. Mum, dad, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, everybody has a part to play. And I'm so often asked, well, what do you do? Well, I've got some top tips. And they're top tips that all of us can achieve. Unless you can talk, you will not be able to read. And if you can't read, you're not going to love it. So we have to give children the tools for reading. And any child that has a wide vocabulary, we know is at an advantage. So where do you acquire your words and your language? You acquire it from people talking to you. You don't acquire it from a screen, you acquire it from human beings. So from the moment your child is in the womb, and I do mean in the womb, we should be singing, enjoying rhymes, and talking to our children. Talk as you walk. Talk as you do. Talk as you cook. Fill your children with vocabulary and language for later use. But of course, you'll also be developing their curiosity, their imagination alongside this. Now, we're better placed to talk than when you're playing. And of course, we know that research shows us that children who played fared better in life. They developed as whole human beings. Play is vital and essential. But of course, what play does is it encourages you to talk. In fact, some of my best talking was when I was playing, often on my own even. It still encouraged me to talk. Well, children who read as adults, almost all of them came from homes where other adults read. So it's vital that you are the best advert for reading yourself. Your children have to see you reading. Otherwise, why would they want to do it? Now, it can be the newspaper they catch you reading, magazines, the cereal box, books. It's lovely when they know that you read in bed for hours and you couldn't put the light out. You have to be a role model for reading because it's infectious. They will catch that bug. We now know that the single most important activity for giving children a love of reading is that they were read to aloud regularly. Now, sadly, we've discovered that almost 1 in 5 children have rarely been read to their mums and dads, and only 1 in 5 parents read regularly. So there's a lot still to be done. And it's got to be a rip-roaring story, and it has to be as often as possible. Sometimes snugly at night time, sometimes in the daytime, we're all singing and dancing. Every one of us that enjoys being with children has to be a performer and a performer of stories. So as often as you can, and when you're in the mood, remember, don't do it when you're not in the mood, read aloud to your children. And don't be frightened to make stories. We've discovered that dads are I don't know why, but they're better than mums. They're the ones that are in the car making up those silly stories. But what I guarantee is if you make up a good story, your child, when they're 60, will remember when mum or dad told that silly story. Please make sure that your children have as much access to books and magazines and comics as they... Yes, comics are great. A lot of people think, oh, comics are fantastic. They're full of action, full of wonderful vocabulary, full of sound effects, really good for children. But please make sure your children have access to as much reading material as possible. We know they can be expensive, but there are second-hand sales. There are public libraries that will lend you up to 12 books at one go. So make use of those. We're lucky to have those public libraries.
Again, just some ideas there, just to bear in mind. It can be really useful just to have these things refresh the importance of reading to your children. And how much of an impact that has, how important it is. Don't underestimate it. Just because you don't see the results necessarily immediately, that it's going in, it's working. So some tips for reading at home then, as Neil was just saying, it can be comics, it can be whatever they're interested in. Obviously younger children, you probably avoid your graphic novels and things, but obviously as they get older, it's about what they're interested in. Non-fiction as well, so we're thinking about books that give us facts, so that might be a book that might tell you all about leaves or autumn or kings and queens, or factual books. Magazines, themes they like. If they're particularly into a certain character, great, use that to hook them in. If they like Peppa Pig, you may end up reading 20 or 30 Peppa stories. Again, the libraries have them. But hook them in, whatever hooks them in. Same as us, if you like a certain style of story, a certain genre, that's what you go back to, isn't it? So let's use that enthusiasm. The library, I know at the moment things have been a little bit different recently, but the libraries are beginning to open up a little certain time slots. Some you have to make an appointment to get into, and some are actually offering these book bags where they make up a sack for you with books in. And I had a friend who really enjoyed the fact that she was given some books that weren't necessarily what she would normally pick, and really enjoyed one in particular that was completely out of the sort of the genre and the type of book she'd normally read, but actually she really enjoyed it. So give something new a try as well. The storyline link here takes you to some more stories read online, which is quite nice. The Oxford Owl homepage is another really good resource. And there's a few links on here that you can have a look at. Let's have a look at this one. Yep. So this page, you can go up, it's got all the subjects on, but the kids activities I've found for us here. Fun learning ideas for 4-year-olds. You've got it for toddlers, 5-year-olds, that obviously you can put the age in. So there's some games and activities. There's also some nice online games here and some other maths activities, some ideas for cooking together, some recipes, and a video there. There's a lot on here. It's definitely worth a good click around to see what you can find of use. And it's free as well, this website, so you know there's no having to pay fees. Some more recommended books. Now obviously there are thousands of children's books and there's no right or wrong about which ones you choose. Go with your children's interests, but there's just some there if you were looking for some in particular, or some authors that are quite popular, and the book list as well I can show you. Shows you some best books. So here we've got 4-year-olds, but again you can click through your ages here. The Book Trust provide free books for children. I don't know if you were given one from your health visitor. That's how we had ours with the small baby, and then as a toddler. I think actually came through nursery with a toddler. But there's some book ideas there as well. They also have some stories that are read online. Again, don't forget the beauty of actually sitting with a physical book in your child. It's really important. But some other ideas, it's still good. There's still pictures. There's still, you can read along. You can have the signs on there. It's got tips on there to help you read along. So that's another really good one worth having a look at. And here are some online activities and games for you. Top Marks is a super website that I would very much encourage you to have a look at. Again, the games I'm going to show you now are free to access. Where are we? It's disappeared on me. Let's pop it in here. But you can literally put in what you're looking for here, so you can select your subject. So in here, I'm just going to stories, and I'm going to put it in English. I'm going to put for my early years and click go. You don't have to put all of those things in, but you can. And literally, you've got CBB Stories, World Stories, Story Planning, which is a nice literacy game, Sacred Stories, Elements of the Story, Easter Story, online stories, lots and lots of things on here that you can click through. Let's have a look. It was English games, story and rhymes. Let's have a look for games. English. And again, if you put in my age group, so that was some nice games on here. Some are number, some are counting. There's lots on there. It's definitely worth a browse through. It links to other sites as well. Also, the Phonics Bloom website's another nice one. Some things on there you have to subscribe for, but there's enough on there that you don't, that it's worth a click through. And then, as I've said, Hand of Surprise, the stick puppets, I'll make sure the resources are attached, and the Michael Rosen stuff for the bear hunt, so you can have a go at doing some of those activities as well. Definitely worth a go. So this week then, we have covered lots of book words, looking at questions, open and closed, 10 things to do with a book. We've had a go at doing some of those together with Hand of Surprise as an example, and you've now got those to take away, and you could either do it with Hand of Surprise again, or you could do the bear hunt, or a favourite story of your own. That's absolutely fine. Tips on sharing books at home, some recommended books, and some resources to go with. Take a moment just to reflect for me. Home reading, how much do you feel you know about it now? Do you fully understand it? Are you yellow or orange? Are you sort of somewhere in the middle, or are you not confident still? Please use that to feed back to me. how has the session been helpful today? Is there anything you'd like more help with? By all means, drop me an email, and if I can help further, I will. Next week, we'll be looking at reading, but how it's done in school, the techniques. We look at inference, rhyme. We go into some key stage 2 stuff as well with that. So that's actually quite interesting to see how basically we build on what we've done at home, but it stretches out further, and how it fits into the national curriculum. So that's actually quite an interesting one. So thank you for attending. There is my email address again. Any questions, please feel free to email me, any feedback, and the links should you be interested in further courses. Have a super week, and I'll see you again. Thank you.